Monsters Recolored by XaroNowicz is a compilation of his monsters retextured. This modification contains changes to textures to the cave trolls, drowners, ghouls, griffins, ice trolls, neckers, and wraiths to look more natural and fit the ritual world. There are tons of comparison photos on the mod author's mod page, which will give you a far more in-depth idea of exactly what you're getting into. Because unfortunately, as I attempt to freeze time in the world to get a better look at the monsters, I find once I go into free camera, the world either A, crashes, or B, all the trees just immediately vanish and it goes into a hole. Where's that water bottle? You're getting the water bottle, faggot. The mod author has kept the mod fairly up to date, and recently in patch 1.4, it added the ghouls, earth golems, gargoyles, and so on. I barely scratched the surface of this mod due to the complexity and the nature of how many monsters it changes. In fact, it seems like it changes all of them in The Witcher 3, which is quite an amazing undertaking. And I find that the recolor or the texture changes are quite welcome actually. It gives a more grittier color base, a darker tone, and maybe the mod author felt that the brighter colors in some of the monsters was too unnatural, possibly. But art is subjective, I personally believe, so he saw something that maybe we all missed and didn't realize was needed. Personally, I feel the work he's done on many of the monsters is a welcome change. It gives a much more desaturated and colder look, as if they were exposed to the elements. Much uglier, much more defined creatures. Alternate Aard Water Ripple Fix by erxv. This fixes the ripple effect on the water that was absent while using Aard. And I guess, as they say, short and sweet and to the point, simply because mods such as these don't need much of a bio or an explanation, as the title says it all. When you look at the mod in itself versus the vanilla version, there's so much more added as far as effects and water ripple. In fact, the modded version goes a farther distance than the vanilla one. It can go right across a lake next to Novigrad. I find this to be quite an interesting change. Though for most people it might not be something they'd be too particularly bothered with, but upon using it, it does add a little bit more immersion and a lot more effect, giving more of a tone or an idea of how powerful this sign actually is, giving a sort of weight and brevity to it. Whereas before, the vanilla version of Aard seemed quite lackluster for nothing more than toppling over a poorly done wall. Improved particle system by Mr. Man 01. After him visiting the old thread on the CD Projekt Red forums, There was discussion about a mod with the igni effects and particles, where a mod was created to make the fire stream form of igni influenced by the wind. The mod author found that the test mod provided by XaroNowicz, although very interesting in principle, had a few issues. Firstly, didn't really change anything about the secondary form of igni other than the wind influence. Secondly, the effect was a bit too strong and focused solely on the embers at the top of the stream. Thirdly, it only applied to, as stated previously, the alternate casting of igni. Inspired by this, the mod author created his own mod so that the modified particles affected. The mod author created this mod so that the modified particles affects elsewhere. Limitations would be no more. The particle effects change a multitude of things that I won't even be able to get into. I'm only scratching the surface yet again to this mod because there's so much here for you to find and discover. Igni particles, now both primary and secondary, will have new effects. Arid particles, Quinn, sparks from secondary form of Yarden, smoke, sparks generated by fires, including unique types, fire once again, fog, dust, certain instances of spume? Smoke and spark effects, smoke and gas clouds, physics, apex, destruction, both particles and debris, monsters, NPCs, environments, sparks, explosions yet again, and collision effects, smoke and pipes. Pretty sure it says pipes. Certain instances of snow, certain instances of frost, so on, etc., etc. This mod covers a large number of effects and particles, adding a bit more depth and ability, a bit more zest to the world of The Witcher. I would suggest using a mod merger to get the full effects, because sometimes Super Turbo Lighting mod and the particle effects from other mods clash with one another. Triss Witcher 2 by Oaken. Note that this is not a port of The Witcher 2's Triss outfit. This is 100% made from scratch. This replaces the Triss outfit with her outfit from The Witcher 2. And the mod author would give a big shout out to his boy, Dog Tooth CG. And from looking at this mod, immediately you can tell that this is completely and utterly scratch made for The Witcher 3, and it is nothing short of awe-inspiring. It's truly beautiful to behold. When you see ported outfits from The Witcher 2 to The Witcher 3, you can definitely tell that it's a ported piece. Due to the lower poly count or the textures, etc., there's something that seems slightly off or a bit amiss, a bit blurry, if you will. I'm not holding it against anyone that takes the time out of their day to mod or bring a ported version of an outfit from the previous game, cause in its own merit it still looks good and it holds up very well. There's a certain crisp look to an outfit mod made specifically from scratch for The Witcher 3. There are just some textures that cannot be refined no matter how hard you try from a last gen title, piece, or outfit. There is a level of texture that is inside of the outfit within itself. When you look at Triss's tunic, I believe is the call of it, or you could call her blouse, whatever. I am not a fashionista of that level to know. I just have the people get the clothes for me and then I wear them. Point being, it looks almost like a canvas texture to her clothes right at the chest area, and it's so impressive. There's also a certain level of a two-tone dye job on her leather pouch that is just, it stands out beautifully and it is executed masterfully. It looks like it was made for The Witcher 3. There are small nuances that you might come across if you were to get face first into these textures like I have, or you might see a slight mistake made by the mod author. I honestly cannot say enough good things about it because this is so well done. It honestly looks like it was done by CD Projekt Red. Beautiful work, and I strongly recommend it to anyone who loved Triss's outfit from The Witcher 2 and wanted it to have that truly next generation feel and look. This delivers without a shadow of a doubt. And it's perfect if you're using one of those companion mods where Triss is always following you around. This outfit truly does her justice. And on that note, I shall be getting out of here. You know the whole spiel. I can't actually give a shit more than me. Rate, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and all that other stuff. And in doing so, you will give me the power to be someone that cannot be ignored by the professional media. They will be forced to send me wonderful computer goodies to review for you. But then again, they'd probably take away my sponsorship the second I told them what I really thought about it. So in the end, I'd only end up back to where I started from, right? And that'll do it for me. Adios, pichachos.